Welcome to Canadian Innovators, the show that celebrates innovation, entrepreneurs, and the Canadian spirit. I'm Jocelyn Bamford, and every week we introduce a new entrepreneur or expert in the economy to tell their story and unpack the challenges of keeping jobs in Canada, as well as share ideas for economic growth and prosperity. Today on the program, we are going to unpack the current economic and political challenges facing Canada. I'm very excited to have Brett Wilson joining us to discuss. We all know Brett as a Canadian entrepreneur, philanthropist, investor, best known as a dragon from the Dragon's Den television show. What some Canadians might not know is he began his career as an oil field engineer. This led him to earn an MBA and co-found investment bank firm First Energy Capital, an investment bank which has dominated financing and advising in Canada's energy industry for over 30 years. He has been recognized for both his business success as well as philanthropic work. Welcome to the program, Brett.
Delighted to join you. And I have a bit of a bias towards the natural resource sector. That's a given. You'll hear more of it.
Yes, as a manufacturer, I do as well. We need affordable energy. Brett, we have a lot to cover and just a little time. But before we get into some of the economic and political issues of the day, I wanted to ask you about your new project with your son, Valerie Resources. This is really exciting because I came from a family company, so it's always great to see family projects continue to flourish in Canada. Tell us about this project.
Well, I came across a coal lease in northern Alberta through an investment that my partner Chernoff and I made in a publicly traded little electricity company, energy company called Maxim Power. Embedded in Maxim was this lease. We decided to sell the property. We sold it to a company ultimately called Valerie Resources. And what happened is I happened to like the property and I happened to like the buyer, Valerie. And so I expressed some interest in continuing to work with them. They came back looking for money and support. And both my son and I went on the board. We joined Candace Bergen, a name you might know. And we're all helping this group. They're based in Australia. The asset's Canadian. It's a metallurgical coal mine. It's an underground coal mine. And we're still getting challenged by a couple of green groups, which is quite frustrating. I'm actually being sued by them right now, which quite frankly, I'm looking forward to. I can defend what we're doing.
Well, it sounds like an exciting project, and we're interested to hear more about that in the future. But Brett, let's focus on the hot topic of the day, which is Venezuela. The U.S. has gone into Venezuela. Your thoughts and how this impacts Canada?
Well, it's interesting. The first response we got out of Canada at the leadership level was Pierre Poilievre, and as you probably know, his wife Anna is herself Venezuelan. So his connection to what's happening in Venezuela far exceeds what's happening to most people in Canada, and that includes Carney. Carney came out with a thoughtful, very politically appropriate response a day later, but Poilievre came out very clearly saying, we celebrate what's happening for the benefit of Venezuela. So I start there, and I see a lot of noise, and I see people protesting in Toronto and Washington, anti-removing this guy who was absolute scum. And whether our process was right or wrong, the fact that he's gone is not a bad place to go. I mean, ultimately, we went after Muammar Gaddafi, and we've cleaned up messes globally. And when I say we, the United States of America, let's not pretend that Biden was going to do anything. Let's not pretend that Obama did anything. I mean, both Biden and Obama went out of their way to submarine Canada in terms of the Keystone Pipeline. They both said no. And so, and as did the Liberal Party under Trudeau. But going back, Venezuela, it's clearly an opportunity to improve for the benefit of the world. I mean, Venezuela is a hotbed for gangs, cartels. It's not a hotbed for growing the oil industry, which it's gone from 4 million barrels a day down to 1 million barrels a day. And it's struggling at 1 million. And what Trump has said is they're going to send in the U.S. oil companies to invest. That's going to take, my guess, for some of this heavy oil kind of projects, the impact on heavy oil production could be as little as 5 years, and it'll take longer. I mean, I'm sure it'll take longer. So Canada's not at loss right now. And remember, globally, we produce 103 million barrels a day of oil. The fact that there's 1 million here and it might go to 2 doesn't change much. So that's my first reaction is it's heavily political, but I happen to believe for the benefit of the people of Venezuela that backing off on the cartels, backing off on the terrible politics of how that country's been run is a benefit. Now the noise, the UN, and I know they're in court today right now. There's a lot of issues to challenge.